couple years down the road, your life looks a little different.
Yeah.
Um, and it's still changing. It's if you were to hop forward to this moment in time, you would be totally bewildered and out of place. That's how different things are. You're married.
Yeah.
You have a 7-year-old son. His name is Bentley.
Bentley Dean.
Yep. Little Bentley Dean is your average run-of-the-mill 7-year-old scamp. Plays the outfield for his little league baseball team. He's not any good.
Of course he isn't.
Yeah, why would he be? He he's a little eccentric like his old man. He's kind and careful and sensitive like his mom. He's an amalgamation of two people that just couldn't make it work.
Uh,
So you are just finalizing your divorce.
dang. Oh for
Your
1.
wife of 9 years. You're it's amicable. There wasn't some big revelatory event, some that caused some schism between the two. You're just different people. You
Petered
want
out.
different things. Parenthood has changed the both of you in ways good and bad. And the thing that brought you two together, whatever spark that was, just wasn't there anymore. You woke up on one beautiful May morning and you looked over at your wife. She lies sleeping in your bed, and you knew it was over. And it sat with you for another few weeks until your dinners became tasteless
Oh, jeez.
and your walks in the evening lost all their joy.
Ugh.
And teary eyed over a kitchen table, you told her that you think it was done. And she agreed. And she said she'd been feeling the same thing for a while too. And she didn't know how to approach you about it. And as much as you would love to stay together for little Bentley, realistically, that's just not going to happen. So the two of you decide to part ways, again, on amicable terms. She's going to have custody, primary custody. You're going to have, every other weekend. You'll have some days during the week. Just kind of, it depends on scheduling. Like you guys are handling it as co-parents, as responsible adults who just
Okay.
have their child's best interest at heart.
It's good.
So you rent a 1-bedroom apartment at this complex called Lonesome. And the Lonesome, it's like in sort of an old west sort of themed, and it's mostly men, it's mostly single middle-aged men.
Oh man.
There are more like Camaros and Corvettes in the parking lot than you really would have thought.
Jeez.
Most nights when you like park your car and you're walking up, somebody's got their door open, blasting some tunes, standing in the doorway, not wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Every night there's just the scent of steak just floats throughout the corridors, the courtyards.
Yeah.
It is inescapable. The smell of steak at the Lonesome.
Wow.
Every single time you go outside, you smell steak. Somebody somewhere in that complex is cooking up a fucking steak.
It's all they know how to cook.
Hmm.
Man, the lonesome. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this place.
There's a barbecue grill out back that you have to sign up for, and there is a wait list, brother.
Oh wow. A wait list for the fucking get more than one.
Huh? Get
How
more
come
than one?
they should have more than one?
They used to, but they were all used so much that it just kind of broke down over time. And the complex told them, like, guys, you're going through grills, like you're going through steaks, like they're like, we can't keep, they go, we got to replace these motherfuckers every 3 months. So they said, finally, they're like, look, the responsibility is going to fall on you guys at some point. And if you want a barbecue grill at your place, you have to show us, you got to have homeowners insurance. You got to like take all these precautions. Like, but we're not going to keep replacing these fucking grills for you guys. They go, it's affecting our bottom line.
Really? Hold on, buying four grills a year?
These guys were going through so many grills that it was hurting the bottom line of this property management company.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's just like, but it is like you cannot get rid of it. It's in your clothes, you know. The smell of steak is just ever present. The thermostat is always set like super high, you know. If you leave like the light on in like the communal laundry room, somebody will find out who did it and they will come to your door and be like, turn the fucking light off when you're done.
Whoa.
You know,
Yeah. You gotta save our
they do
cash,
not fuck
man.
around. Yeah. They go, you weren't raising a barn. There's like a there's like a pool and a hot tub area. The hot tub area is never unoccupied. And that water, frankly, if the water ever stopped bubbling and settled, I don't think you'd want to get in there. But it's constantly moving, so you can't really see. But it is like not
Oh
as
man.
clear as you'd like. It's just got a lot of like remnants of other people in it, from just constantly being on.
It's always being used.
It's always being used.
Wow. Endless hot tub.
So, you got like the Lonesome is a little bit of a weird place,
Yeah.
but it's home, you know. It's
Shit.
generally pretty quiet, It's conveniently located. It's close to, your son's school and your old house with your wife. You're pretty close to whatever you grocery store, restaurant, whatever. It's all right there. It's a convenient location. It's priced low enough, and for your one person to live on their own in Austin, like you're doing fine. Like
Okay.
you like it. You have like like I said, it's a one bedroom. So you have like a little pull out couch. That's where Bentley's gonna sleep when he comes over. And he thinks it's the fucking coolest thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I bet he thinks it's kind of rad. I was about to go, oh no, but then yeah, if I was a kid, I would think that would rule well, that would rule.
He loves when he comes over, you pick him up on your for school on Friday. And Friday night is like, you know, Friday night is when the two of you guys, you fucking order pizza.
Yeah.
You guys stay up till like 9:30 or whatever, right? Right. So it's like a long time for him. You stay up, you rock out, you party, you eat whatever it is you want to eat. He's got a little video game thing that he plays on and you guys play together, and it's just like party night.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Saturday is a little more chill, right? He usually goes to bed around 8 o'clock, and he loves. You guys have like an early dinner, and he loves as soon as that dinner's over, he hops up and he runs over and he starts yanking those. He's ready to pull that fucking bed out.
Really?
Yeah, he loves pulling that.
Bentley.
It's different, I guess. It's just the thing that like It's just a thing that he loves. So you're in this new position of being like a weekend dad sometimes, and you're dealing with it. It's hard. Transition is hard. Change is hard. Bentley looks bigger every time you see him. But this is life, and like by God, you're gonna deal with it. You know. Uh, she kind of came into the relationship with friends, and you kind of just gravitated towards them more so than the other way around.
Okay.
So it's a bit bigger of a loss for you on in that sense than it is for her. And the days in the immediate aftermath of the divorce or in the move are very lonely. They're very hard.
Yeah. Gotta feel
Some
weird.
days you Yeah, but well, number one, because it's such an abrupt change. It's like I've been doing this for the last decade of my life. I've been going to sleep and waking up with the same woman, and my life has been this for so long. And now I'm like waking up in a one bedroom, unfurnished apartment with nothing on the walls yet. And
Oh,
it's just like a sad bachelor apartment right now.
what's my wife's name?
And her name is Shelby.
Oh, wow.
Shelby Dean.
Shelby Dean, the former Miss
He
Shelby
used to
Dean.
sing to her, "Sweet Shelby Dean." Ba, ba, ba. You know.
That sucks. Oh, shit. That is the ah, no wonder it didn't work out.
It's a moment that you look back on with real fondness.
Yeah, I bet.
Just a cute little thing between the two of you. So it's tough. It's hard. And you go to reach for your phone, like, oh, maybe we can hang out with this guy. And it's like, well, he's actually the husband of
Yeah,
one of Shelby's good friends. Like that a lot of your regular recent social circle is now just like
gone.
stuck having to make a choice. Yeah. And like you don't, you're a good person. You don't want to have to like force anybody into a decision like that. You don't want to have to like make someone declare I'm siding with someone because that's going to impact their own marriage and their own personal relationships. And you just don't want to put that on somebody.
So I
So
just
you don't reach
retreat.
out. You retreat, which I think is,
Dang.
a perfectly natural thing to do in that scenario. And, you kind of like wallow in it for a little while. And then there comes a point where you go like, I gotta like figure out something like there's got to be other people out there in this position. You're it's like your free weekend. You're going to the grocery store. You're walking out of the store with a bag of groceries in your arms. And like coming through the parking lot, you see like several cars. There's like five or six cars that are all sort of driving very slow.
Okay.
And they all have some sort of like decal on the side, like a sticker on the passenger door. You can't quite make it out from that distance. But they all park at the far end of the parking lot. They kind of circle up, not giving a fuck about the parking spots or the lanes. Just like claiming an end of the parking lot and saying if you want through, you can just go around, buddy. There's plenty of room. An act of almost public defiance. A statement that says we play by our own fucking rules. And guess what? You got to
Yeah.
play by them too.
Who are these guys?
So that's what you're thinking. You're like, who? These guys look so fucking cool. They're all kind of like standing out. They all get out of their
Yeah.
cars and they're just like hanging out talking. Just a bunch
Looking
of
like cool
middle-aged
guys.
guys, right? They're all wearing something, either like sunglasses or a hat. They're all like wearing. A lot of them have a combination of the two. Get cool. You get in your car, you kind of drive down, you slow down as you get near their little cluster, and you can make out the sticker on the side of the car. It's the letter D. It's like three D's all linked together,
Okay.
and it says Divorced Dad's Drive. You go home, you're like, what the fuck? You look it up on Facebook, and it's a group. It's exactly what you think it is. It's
Yeah, I bet.
the Facebook thing says, "Hey bros, welcome to Divorced Dad's Drive." It's just what it sounds like. A bunch of cool divorced dads who don't have their kids for the weekend and who want to cruise.
Wow.
You go, come one, come all, the more the merrier. See you out there, divorced daddies.
See ya.
There's there's like a calendar of events on there, you know. You see they're getting together the next night at a Sprouts, going to the one on Manchac.
Yeah, I live right by there.
Yeah.
Fun
And that's
fact.
what you think. You're like, oh, that's pretty close, you know. So you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna join, but I'm just gonna go and observe.
Yeah, check it out.
So that's what you do. You pull into the parking lot about, I don't know, 15 minutes before the start of the event. And 10 minutes before the event, you see these maybe like five or six cars just rolling on in the parking lot,
They look
parking off
cool.
in the corner, out of the way, but still taking up space in a way that just screams, dare me. So you're like, you're like watching, you're sitting in your car watching from a distance. You're
Yeah.
watching these guys. They're kind of like posted up, leaning back on their cars. One of them, like, you're like looking at him like through your window. One of them like looks at you and locks eyes. He takes his glasses off and he just walks straight for your car.
Whoa.
He gets like right up on your window. You're like frozen a little bit, you know? He knocks on your window. You roll it down.
What's up, man?
He goes, I saw you giving us the old eyeball. Let me ask you something. He kind of like takes a moment, removes his glasses, looks you in the eyes. He says, are you married?
I
He looks
was.
down, the wedding ring's still on your finger. You kind of fidget with it. You go, just freshly divorced. And he's like, can't take it off yet, huh? And you're like,
Jeez.
having a hard time.
Yeah.
He goes, I've been there, buddy.
Oh
He goes,
man.
say, me and some of my friends are going for a little cruise. You like to cruise?
Love it.
He goes, all right. Why don't you whip on over here and I'll introduce you to the crew.
Right.
So you drive across the parking lot. You get out of your Ford Fiesta. The guy who was talking to you like walks back over. He goes, all right, guys, every now and then the universe reaches out and says, help this man. And I looked across the parking lot this morning and I saw a pair of eyes that needed a friend or two. He goes, this is, and he says, what's your name? You say, I'm Pat. And they all go, hey, Pat, in unison, almost in like a harmony, frankly.
Okay.
You kind of like shake that from your frontal lobe. And, he goes through, he gives introductions to everybody. There's like eight guys there. One by one, they all come up and shake your fucking hand. They look you in the eyes and they shake your hand. And they shake your hand with intent. They go, today's is going to be Pat's first cruise. He says, Pat, where are we cruising to?
Oh man. I don't know. Where do you guys usually cruise?
The there's one guy who's like big. He's probably 6'4". Looks like he played football in college. He's got a shock of white hair, no chin. He's got big arms, big hands, big forearms, just a big beefy guy. He goes, takes a drag off of a cigarette, blows the smoke in the air, and with his head tilted back, he moves his eyes to you and he goes, your first ride, you tell us.
Okay. Wait, but what time? It's nighttime, right?
No, this is like this is like a early or like mid morning, mid late
Mid
morning.
morning. Dang, where would we
Yeah,
cruise?
it's like yeah, I guess like 10:30,
You
somewhere in
guys
there.
want to go to Barton Springs pool?
And they all they all go, yeah, Barton Springs Pool.
Let's
We'll
cruise.
we'll meet you there.
Hell yeah.
And the guy who like first came up to you, he goes, you get to ride in the middle. He goes, and since you're with us now, he reaches into his car and he pulls out a big decal, the triple D,
Oh,
divorced
hell
dads
yeah.
drive. He goes, may I? And he like looks at your passenger side door.
Hell yeah.
It's like a magnetic one. He just like throws it on. It sticks perfectly. It's perfectly centered. It's not a degree tilted in either way. You kind of look at it and you're like, it looks perfect. So they go, all right, boys, saddle up. They all get into their cars, they start them up. You kind of slide in right in the middle, and you guys fucking cruise. You go back up Manchac. You pass that catfish place.
Yeah, the good
You
chicken
pass your
tenders.
uh you pass your apartment, the coffee shop.
Captain Quacks.
You get up you get up like you up to that stoplight. You make your way down Lamar. You guys are just fucking cruising.
Yeah.
You look up, you see they're all in like in a row. A lot of them have their hand out the window, just riding the wave. You lower your window, put your hand out there too, and smile for the first time in what feels like weeks. You see the lights from the car behind you flash and you hear like a honk. The guy sticks his head out, he just screams. The guys in the other car just stick their heads out and scream. There's howling. You do the same. You guys drive you're making your way to the mall, you're at a stoplight and somebody goes, Divorce Dads Drive, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they all
They're
kind of they all
known.
kind of honk. Yeah. Some lady flashes you guys. They really honk for that one,
I fucking bet they
right?
do. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So you guys make your way to Barton Springs Pool. You kind of park there in the parking lot. Again, on the end. Total disregard for the spots. Just commandeering the space. You hang out until the sun goes down, right? And finally, everybody's like, they're like, people are like, hey, you gotta leave, pool's closed or whatever. So somebody's like, why don't we cruise over to my place? Have some garage beers. We could throw some wings on the smoker, make a night of it. And everybody's like, yeah, that'd be cool. He lives like just out west of Austin. So you guys drive out there, right? You wind up going through like Bee Cave area. You take a little farm road, and you're kind of like out. It's not like in the sticks or anything, but it's definitely like on the outskirts.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like it's beautiful hill country. You're like driving through. It's just gorgeous, especially at night. And you guys are cruising along, and out of nowhere, you hear the squeal of brakes and see the flash of lights, and everybody comes to a stop. You all get out of the car, and there's like a guy on a bicycle laying in the grass, and you can just tell he's not supposed to be in that particular configuration. It's not like this guy's toast,
Oh, okay.
you know. The guy whose house you were heading to, his name is uh, Jonathan Flexion,
Jonathan the
and
Flexion?
Jonathan Flexion.
Flexion. Okay.
Flexion, yeah.
That's somehow worse.
J Fleck, as his friends call him.
J Fleck. What's J
Yeah.
Fleck's deal?
J Fleck is a personal trainer.
Yeah.
He he trains people, like some gyms, and when he's not doing that, he's like hustling to like try to get new clients. He's big into like gym culture. But he makes sure he gets his sets in, every other weekend when he's got his son. And he doesn't miss a workout, but he also doesn't miss a fucking baseball game, right? He doesn't miss fucking a band concert.
He
He
finds a way to
doesn't he
make it
doesn't
work. Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't miss hanging his fucking son's artwork up on the fridge when he comes over. He's got a nice little place, like I said, a little bit out of the way. He does well for himself. And he came over like a blind hill and just hit this guy. And he's
Jeez.
freaking out. He's like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck." He goes, what are we gonna do? What am I gonna do? He's like, "I had 2 beers earlier." He's like, "This is gonna ruin me." He kind of like looks around. He turns and he goes, "You guys got my back, right?" And there's like an uncomfortable silence on the other side of that question, right? He's like, "Look, I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this.
What?
I can get rid of." He goes, "I can get rid of this. I can get rid of the bike. This never happened."
I don't know.
He was The other divorced dads kind of like rub their chins, and they're like, "I don't know, like I think you should." Probably call the police. Jay Fleck is like clearly freaking out. He's like
Yeah,
wiping the blood off of his bumper
of
already.
course.
He took his shirt off. You just see his fucking rippling abs and his chiseled chest.
Okay.
You remark at the tone he's been able to maintain over the years in his arms. You see his calves as he bends down to wipe that fucking blood off of the bumper of his car.
Oh,
And like every guy looks at him and knows that this guy is like the alpha of the group. He's like the
okay.
guy who's like best in shape. He's got his own place.
All right.
If
He's
any if
got
any
his
of the
own
wives are
place.
gonna if any of the wives are gonna take their man back, it's gonna be Jay Fleck. Look at him.
Why'd they even get divorced?
Oh, he was a serial adulterer. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Jay Fleck.
aggressively so.
Oh, what a jerk.
You know, yeah, he was a
Uh,
real piece of shit about it.
well, dude,
You
you
know,
just killed this guy.
yeah. So he's like, again, wiping the blood off with his shirt that he took off, revealing his chiseled torso.
Oh,
And that
right.
guy is just like laying there in the grass, right? See the rear wheel of his bicycle still spinning, headlights hitting his reflector every so often.
Yeah.
And J Flex starts to like reach down and like move the body. He like goes to grab him and then he turns around and he pops the trunk on his car and he goes, "Who's gonna help me?"
Well, we got to check to see if he's alive first.
J Flex moves him and his neck is just like it's toast. It's
All
juice.
right.
He's like very
We
clearly
gotta,
dead.
I think we gotta call this in, brother.
You say that to J Flex, right? He kind of like stands up. He goes, "Fuck you, new guy."
Fuck you.
You say, "Fuck you," right? He kind of like
I
gets
just
in your
met
face.
you.
He goes, "Are you going to tell anybody about this?"
I'm not gonna go to jail for being accessory to you running over somebody.
Jay Fleck reaches out and he just fucking snaps your neck, and
What?
you fall to the pavement, and you land in like the exact same position as that biker.
Oh
Jay Fleck looks up and
no.
he goes, "Okay, looks like it's gonna be overtime, fellas," and everybody just helps him.
Oh
They
no.
bury your bodies, and a media narrative gets spun that you were like a hitchhiker and you tried to like
What?
fight off the that you tried to like like capture the cyclist, and there was like a struggle that
Yeah.
ensued, and both of your bodies wound up at the bottom of a ravine. But they didn't find you for days, so your bottom half was just torn apart by dogs. They ate your asshole first.
Oh my God, Aaron.
Yeah, they ripped your jeans off and just they ate your butt first. So they found everything like below the waist, above the knee was just gone. So they found your torso and your calves and feet just like a couple feet like away.
Well, at least Bentley still has his mom. Damn.
Yeah, that's all he's got now.
Oh, poor
That's all he's
kid.
got. He's never gonna pull out another couch again.